All right. So today, Spiritual Sundays, where I really focus on being able to align myself, connect myself, do some self analyzing, and figuring out how I can come back to myself, right? My spiritual self. Now, there's two things that I've noticed and that I've worked on for the last 5 years, which is your physical body and then your spiritual realm, right? So it's two different ones, and in order to keep those aligned, then you obviously must do some work for that. So it's up to you to understand, for one, when you're feeling overwhelmed, right? There's one thing that people don't understand about feelings and emotions that I've been really able to, maybe I took it to a whole nother level, but it's something that has really helped me out. When I met my master, she was a Buddhist, she was in Vietnam for 11 years. She came and opened my eyes up completely to a whole nother level. And she told me that the feelings that I was going through, which was the overwhelm and feeling exhausted, was just my body. It's actually a good thing. It was my body trying to show me that I had to change something about my life, right? And a lot of the times, if you are a business owner, you get so caught up in working and grinding every single day. And now it's become a thing where hustling and grinding 24/7 every single day, going at it hard and not taking any breaks, and fuck sleep. Why sleep now? I'll get some sleep when I die. Well, that's actually the fastest way of dying. um, it's your when you actually get your sleep, I get about 6 hours of sleep, 6, 7 hours. It's very, very rare that I get 8 hours of sleep. That's just because my body, I get very bad anxiety, and it's my wake up call, right? I don't use alarm clocks. I don't use anything to wake me up. You see these big ass windows. It's just that sunlight that's shining through at 6, 7 in the morning, and I'm up. So I don't have a choice, and then I have anxiety. So it's a moment for you to be able to understand what you're going through. If you understand you're feeling some type of overwhelm or sadness or frustration, or maybe some things are just not going the way that you've been wanting them to go, then take some time to actually sit back, right? There's a lot of the time, something that I would always do is try to go at it. I was looking at the same wall and I kept crashing against the same wall. But sometimes what we don't realize is all we need to do is take a step back, and maybe you can see on top of that wall or under, or you can go on either side, right? But you get a new perspective. So what you need to do is slow down. So my Sundays, I spend them, for one, I do a full cleanse, right? I don't eat. I usually do, depends how extreme I want to be, but I can go anywhere from 36 all the way up to a 50-hour fast. Now that is just water and electrolytes. I do a lot of stretching. I try not to go as hard. I don't push myself as hard. So I don't do heavy lifting. I don't do strength training. I don't do too much cardio. It's just really not eating. So my last meal will be on Saturday evening, and then my next meal will be about Monday morning or Monday evening. Just depends how I'm feeling. The reason that I do that is because it gives me a lot of clarity. If my previous week was full of anxiety and problems and I couldn't get shit done, I kept running into the same wall, then that's telling me something that I'm putting in my body is not doing me right. Maybe my energy was down, maybe my clarity was out of whack, and I have been having a lot of mental fatigue. So it's been very hard to get myself to the gym and push myself and have a lot of clarity. So that's my solution. The moment I hit that peak point where I'm very overwhelmed, I have uncontrollable anxiety, then it's time for me to not eat. It's just a water fast, or water, whatever you want to call it. Electrolytes. Now, you have to be very careful with what your type of electrolytes you're consuming. A lot of the companies are very small or underdosed on every ingredient, and some of them don't even have the most important ingredients, right? The ingredients that I really, really look for is the potassium, sodium, and magnesium in everything. All right. Also, no stimulants, no sugars, no nothing. It's just water and electrolytes. All right. So during that, when I know I'm about to fast, for example, this morning I woke up at about 7 a.m. and I go on a run. All right, just drink about 30 ounces of water, and I go on my run. What that does is it's almost as if I black out while I'm in my run. Um, One of the greatest tricks and hacks that I've learned to be able to get to where I'm at today is suffering and pain. All right. I intentionally put myself in that position because it allows me to see things from a completely different perspective. It's one thing to be happy and be excited when everything is going perfect in your life, right? But it's a completely different thing when everything is going against what you thought. All right. If everything is going wrong, you feel like shit, you have brain fog, you don't really have clarity on what you're working towards, you lost your motivations, you have fatigueness, and you really just don't even feel like getting out of bed. That is the perfect time to go on a run. All right. I absolutely hate running, and I'm sure you're going to say, well, I don't know how I can get up and I don't know how I can run 5, 10 miles. I've never done it. Well, that's how I was as well. All right. That's the reason you want to go and do it. I'm not saying be extreme either. Just take it slow. Understand yourself, your body, your rhythm, your heart, and try to maintain at a decent level, right? What you're going to do within that time of feeling the pain and the suffering, it's going to, for one, you're going to be facing whatever problems you're dealing with directly. No music, no friends, just you. No phone either. All right. And what that does is it lets me go at my problems, or most people like to call them demons. If that's what y'all want to refer them as, then cool. But I don't see them as demons. To me, it's just another guidance. It's that side of me that does not want to move forward. It's the side of me that's bringing me down, and it's giving me a hard time. I'm trying to understand why I'm feeling that way. If you never learn why you're feeling that way, then you're always going to be stuck in that position. You're always going to be looking for a shortcut and a way out, which is the reason why you see nowadays a lot of people are struggling with addiction with something. They're always looking to run from their problems, which is drugs, alcohol, sugar, stimulants, or just completely avoiding their problems, avoiding feelings, avoiding anything, right? So instead of running from your problems, figure out where that problem is coming from. Go run directly towards it. If you run towards it, you're going to find all the answers you're looking for. And I know it's going to be hard, but what you're doing, for one, is you are doing a full reset within your body. The biggest reset you want is within your mind, which is your neurotransmitters. Your neurotransmitters are ideally what give you that motivation, that excitement, that sadness. Your serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine. There's 9 of them. Can't remember them all off the top of my head. But you want to have a hard reset. If you are a person who does caffeine every single day as soon as you wake up and you think you can't survive without it, that is the perfect time to stop. That is the perfect reason to stop. All right, try it for a few days and see how your body responds to it, and start aligning with yourself. Now, on the spiritual side, yes, spiritual ties in to finances and physical health, mental and physical health with finance as well. All right, that is why I like to work on every single part of them every single week. All right, not every day, but at least once, twice a week. And they all go hand in hand. So the more you work on, if you only focus on one, then every other area of your life is going to come down. All right. So what you want to be focused on is, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, learn how to silence everything, the distractions, your phone. Get off your phone for at least one day. Get off all social media. Get away from your friends. If your friends are not helping you or pushing you to feel healthier, to move forward in life, then you have the wrong circle. I'm not saying cut them off completely, but cut them off until you're strong, mentally strong enough to figure something out on how you can overcome any one of those things that you're going through and start reaching higher goals. You need somebody that's going to push you to do better. You don't need those friends that are always going to be inviting you to go out and drink and do drugs and be lazy and just wasting your fucking time. Why? They're always going to exist, right? So you want to be surrounded with people who think differently, who are pushing you to to think different, but challenging yourself. And that could be mentally, physically, in business, right? And don't see it necessarily as business so much. Just think about creativity and trying new things that you've never done before or that you never wanted to do. Okay? So, meditation, let's talk about meditations. Most of the time while I'm running, right now it's ridiculously hot, so I don't even want to be outside. But when you sit outside and try to meditate, right? I live on the river, so it's very easy for me to go out there and run and take a break next to a tree. What you want to do is learn how to silence your mind, learn how to silence all the distractions. Distractions by people, by music. That's another thing, right? A lot of people think they can't work out without music. And to me, the moment you start feeling and thinking that you need something and you can't live without it, or you can't accomplish something without that one thing, what are you going to do when you don't have that one thing anymore? What are you going to do when your phone is dead and you don't have any music? Are you just going to skip your workout? Right? So the moment you give the power to something else that you think you need it, then you're crippling yourself. Now that's just becoming your crutch. So what you want to do is you want to, for one, cut out all the distractions and all the noise, the outside noise. Again, music, friends, social media, everything. All right? Now, you want to sit there and just don't even worry about following meditation techniques or breath work, nothing. Take it slow in the first few months. If you've never done it, just take it slow. Don't stress it out. You can watch videos, watch books to get some guidance. But what you want to do is just let your mind roam. It's very hard to sit in silence, right? In the beginning, I had to sit with my own thoughts, which my thoughts were very dark. That was when I was very heavy on drugs, and I would use drugs to silence myself, to silence my thoughts, to go straight to sleep. But what happens when you don't have those drugs? Well, you got to face the reality. You got to deal with all the bullshit that you've been just sweeping under the rug. And the moment you're sober and you don't look towards any distractions or anything else to fulfill that one little gap, well, then you're going at life, you're just raw dogging it, right? So let your mind wander. Let your mind just wander off. It's going to take weeks, and jot those ideas down. What's coming, because you're going to face the truth. A lot of people are scared to face their reality because maybe they don't want to be seen as a fraud. Maybe they're hiding something that they don't want to face. So it's very hard and difficult, but it is the only way that I have found I found it to be the easiest way to find my breakthroughs. It is the only time where you're able to map out everything within your head and visualize everything and come up with your to-do list. Right? A lot of people are very scared to create that to-do list, and they think they go online and they come up with, in my opinion, stupid shit that doesn't even really matter. Wake up at 5 a.m., do your bed, take a cold shower. That doesn't really matter. In my opinion, I don't do that. I mean, I do my bed, I shower, but I don't really do that. To me, it's about productivity, right? It doesn't matter if you're not in the right mental state. Waking up at 5 a.m., if you know you're not a morning person, you're going to be up at 5 a.m., you're going to be completely brain dead. All right? I'm not a morning person, but I mean, I'll wake up at 6, 7, but I'll go to sleep at 12, 1 o'clock. All right? I'm a night person. My creativity kicks in at about 6, 7 p.m. I know my body, so you have to understand your body first. Try every single one of them out. There's not a right or wrong. It's just what works for you. If you know it works for you, then go for it. If you know it doesn't work your way, then don't follow what everybody else is trying to follow. All right, focus on your productivity. On the productivity, you want to write a list that actually matters. Write down 3 to 5 things that you know you have to get done. And I don't mean small bullshit that do my bed or call this one person. I mean like real goals, set real intentions that you know are going to take you to something further. Now, that's the one thing. If you don't know what to do with your life, if you're very stuck, if you're at a job, that is where meditation comes in. All right? Learn how to silence everything within, and your mind is just going to some way, somehow, it's going to start throwing things off. You're going to start throwing ideas. You're going to start getting creative. And I don't know where these ideas come from. They come from something higher than us that we cannot see, but it works. All right. I've been through change in industries and careers over 20 times, and I always go back to square one. I'm not afraid to start over because I don't want. Why do you want to get good at something you don't enjoy? Right now, don't get it twisted either. I'm not saying just because you don't enjoy sales or making money or whatever, running a business, that doesn't mean don't do it. You got to get good at those things. But I'm saying if I knew when I became an electrician that I didn't like it, why would I go get good at it and stay there for 4 years if I didn't have any big plans for that? Right? So don't be afraid to start over. Be afraid that you're stuck in the same position. Be afraid that you're not growing mentally and spiritually. All right? You should be looking to connect to your higher self, to your higher consciousness. Everything is about raising your awareness and your conscious. The more that you do that, then the more clarity that you have, which all kind of backtracks to food. What type of food are you, it all comes into what are you putting in your body? What are you consuming? And that's not just food, right? It could be food, it can be alcohol, it could be music, it could be information, it could be knowledge. Not all information is the right information, right? There's some information that could maybe take you completely off track. You don't know because you haven't done your research and really looked in depth. But this is where you come in and have to start trusting yourself and your instinct within your gut. All right? The cleaner that you eat, the more you cleanse your body. For example, this fasting, it's going to allow you to have more control of your thoughts and your body and your emotions. So overall, you're going to feel a lot better. Now, the reason you don't want to eat and meditate, well, you're full. All right. One of the things that I've seen a lot of Buddhists do is when they meditate, they really don't eat, and they do fasting. I mean, they do pretty ridiculous fasting, but you want to try to keep your spirit very light. If you eat a fat ass burger, big ass meal right before meditating, you're just going to be too tired. Your spirit's going to be too heavy. All right. On this ayahuasca retreat that I'm about to be doing, it's a spiritual retreat, spiritual cleanse, and they want you can't eat any red meats for 10 to 14 days. I mean, it goes way more extreme than that, but just to give you an idea. All right, you're not supposed to be consuming any food. And me, I've learned to cut off all the music. Why? Because it's all low frequency music. Low frequency obviously means it's just bringing you down. The lower your frequency, then that is where the negativity comes in. You're always angry, the envy, the anxiety, and all of those little problems comes from being on such a low frequency state. All right, so you want to be able to overcome that by blocking out everything that is already bringing you down. So yes, you don't want to be consuming garbage music that's bringing you down. Also, friends, what are your friends telling you? Are you a dump truck? I mean, are you a garbage disposal? Right? There's a lot of people, including family, they will come to us. And just because you want to be nice, you're going to listen to them. You're going to be there for them. That used to be me, not no more. I learned my lesson after a lot of times. You do something for somebody, they tell you and unload all their problems and chaos, negativity, and just drama, unnecessary drama. They will unload it on you and they walk away free. So why are you willing to sit there and take everybody's garbage and shit, literally their shit, they're unloading it onto you, just so they can walk away freely and they're good. So now you're intaking everybody's shit on top of eating like shit. And if you're consuming alcohol, then you're also lowering yourself, your frequency state. There's a reason why alcohol is so big. It's because it disconnects you from your higher self, from your higher consciousness. So the lower frequency you are in, then the more disconnected you are from the reality. Right? There's two realities right now that we're dealing with, and there's a whole psychological warfare where we have been completely manipulated, and there's a lot going on, but it's not the normal war that you think it is. This is a spiritual war. All right, and they're winning at it. So as you start eating cleaner and consuming cleaner, cutting out all the shit, then you will see how things start to make a lot more sense. You will have a lot more clarity. You will actually find fulfillment in the little things that you do. All right, even things such as waking up or something as minor as eating a meal or waking up with nature, with family, whatever it is, you're going to find gratitude in that and fulfillment. You're going to see you don't need to be following all the social media gurus and all the big things that are going on there. Your happiness and fulfillment is literally within you. And the only way you're going to get there is if you're able to face the reality and cut out all the noise and distractions, social media. Don't listen to anybody on the outside world. Listen to what your mind is telling you. Focus on you. Align yourself spiritually and physically, and everything will start to make sense. So that's for today. Sundays, use it as your detox days. Don't eat like shit. Don't use your Sunday fun days for drinking alcohol. Use it to get better, to raise your awareness, to raise your consciousness. Focus on becoming a better person, on finding more fulfillment in those minor things in life. Find gratitude in every single thing that you have, and life will just become a lot more abundant, and you will finally find your purpose or passion. I hope that is. So talk to y'all then.